Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever walked into a room and felt the air change? Have you ever been in the presence of someone close to you, someone you love, trust, and have known for years only to sense something is off? Something you can't quite explain? A heaviness, a darkness, an energy that twists the air between you? What if I told you that not every battle in your family is just a disagreement, that not every rift is just bad luck or bad choices? That sometimes something unseen is at work, something lurking beneath the surface, planting seeds of discord, confusion, and despair? Tonight we confront an unsettling reality, how to spot a demon in family. Now, I'm not talking about horned creatures leaping out of the shadows. No, demons are far more insidious. They wear familiar faces. They speak with voices you recognize. They move through the cracks of your home, slipping into conversations, poisoning thoughts, breaking spirits. They thrive where there is fear. They feed on pain, on anger, on insecurity, and worst of all, they work through people. You may love someone, but that does not mean they're not being used against you. Tonight, we strip away illusions. We pull back the curtain, because if you do not recognize the signs, you cannot fight back. If you cannot see the demon in your family, it will continue to thrive undetected, unchecked, and unchallenged. So let's begin. The shift in energy. Imagine this. You wake up one day and everything in your home feels different. Maybe it's gradual, maybe it's sudden. Conversations that used to be warm turn cold. Laughter that once echoed through the house is replaced by tension, silence, or constant fighting. No one is truly happy. Misunderstandings pile up like dead leaves. The love that once connected everyone feels distant. You feel like you're walking on eggshells. There is a presence not always seen, not always heard, but always felt. This is how it begins. Demons are not loud at first. They don't arrive with thunder and destruction. They slip in quietly. They settle into the spaces between words, between actions. They turn home into a battlefield where the war is not always visible, but it is always being fought. Have you noticed someone in your family who seems to thrive on negativity, who always stirs up arguments, who twists words, who finds joy in keeping others miserable? That is not just a personality trait, that is an energy, that is a force, and if you ignore it, it will grow. The manipulator, a demon does not need to raise its voice to be powerful. Sometimes the most dangerous presence in a family is the one who speaks softly, who weaves words like a web, who controls without needing to lift a finger. This person can make you doubt yourself. They tell you what to think, what to feel, what to believe. They make you feel guilty for things you never did. They rewrite history so that somehow you are always the villain and they are always the victim. If you feel drained every time you speak to them, if your confidence shrinks, if your emotions are twisted into knots, ask yourself, is this a conversation or is this a trap? A demon does not fight you with fists. It fights you with words, with emotions, with invisible chains that keep you bound. The cycle of chaos. Have you ever noticed how some families can never seem to escape destruction? One moment things are fine, the next everything is falling apart. Financial problems, sickness, sudden deaths, betrayals, loss again and again, like a pattern too precise to be coincidence. This is not just bad luck, this is a design. A demon in the family thrives on chaos because chaos weakens people. It keeps them distracted, exhausted, hopeless. When a family is too tired to fight back, the demon's hold tightens. Watch for the patterns. Watch for the same wounds opening over and over again. Watch for a force that always seems to destroy happiness the moment it arrives. The unseen toll. And now we come to the part most people ignore. The part where your body, your mind, and your soul start to feel the weight of what is happening. You are constantly exhausted even when you get enough sleep. You feel paranoid, like something is always watching. Your emotions are unstable. You are angry, sad, confused, empty. Your dreams become strange, dark, unsettling. You feel like you don't belong anywhere, not even in your own family. This is not just stress. This is a sign. Your spirit is under attack. Ladies and gentlemen, you must understand this. You cannot save someone who does not want to be saved. If a demon has taken root in someone you love, you cannot always pull them back, but you can protect yourself. You must protect yourself. Because if you do not, you will lose yourself in their darkness. You will become what they want you to be, weak, broken, hopeless, and that is how demons win. Now I ask you, have you seen these signs? Have you felt them? Then it's time to make a choice. Do you stay blind or do you open your eyes? Because once you see the demon in your family, there's no unseeing it. Imagine this. You walk into your home, the place where you should feel safest, but something is different. The air feels thick, heavy, almost suffocating. You can't explain it, but deep inside, you feel it. It's like stepping in a room where something invisible lingers, something that drains the warmth from the walls and replaces it with a quiet, creeping tension. It's subtle at first, like a whisper at the edge of your mind, but once you start noticing it, you can't unfeel it. At first, you brush it off. Maybe it's just stress. Maybe it's just one of those days. But then you start seeing it everywhere. Conversations that once flowed naturally now feel strained. The laughter that used to fill the house has become rare, almost foreign. There's no outright fight, no obvious confrontation, just this constant undercurrent of unease. Every interaction feels like a minefield, as if one wrong word will set off an explosion even when nothing has been said yet. You start watching the people around you. Someone in the family, someone close seems to carry this energy with them. When they walk into a room, the entire atmosphere shifts. It's not about what they say, it's about what you feel when they're near. Maybe they say all the right things. Maybe they smile at all the right moments. But something about them drains the life from the space they occupy. When they speak, their words seem to linger longer than they should, wrapping around your thoughts like vines, planting doubt, irritation, or even fear. You start noticing how other people react to them. Tension follows them like a shadow. No one speaks as freely when they're around. People choose their words carefully, as if they know that one slip could turn a simple moment into something twisted and uncomfortable. There are no raised voices, no slammed doors, just an unshakable sense that the room is not at peace. You begin to wonder if it's all in your head. Maybe you're imagining things. Maybe it's just a bad week. But then something happens. You leave for a while, maybe for a trip, maybe just for a long walk, and suddenly the weight lifts. The air around you feels clearer. Your mind isn't racing. You feel like yourself again. But the moment you return, that feeling creeps back in like an unseen presence pressing against your skin. And that's when you know it's not just in your head. It's not just a passing mood. There is something, someone in your home whose presence shifts the energy, whose very existence seems to drain the peace from the people around them. It's not about arguments or open hostility. It's about what happens in the silent spaces between words. The moments where nothing should be happening, but something is. The way your heart beats faster when they're near, the way your body tenses when you hear their footsteps, the way your mind feels heavier just from being in their presence. You watch closely. You see the patterns. The way happiness seems to die around them, the way good news turns sour the moment they get involved. It's not coincidence, it's not bad luck. It's something deeper. And now you have a choice. Do you continue pretending this isn't real? Do you keep gaslighting yourself, telling yourself it's just life, just personality differences, just stress? Or do you accept the truth that there is something in your home that is not meant to be there? Because if you ignore it, it won't go away. It will only grow stronger, weaving itself deeper into the foundation of your family until one day you wake up and realize that the home you once loved is no longer yours. That the warmth that once lived in those walls has been swallowed by something unseen, something that thrives in the silence, something that does not want to be recognized. But now you've seen it, and once you see it, there's no going back. There is a kind of control that doesn't need chains or cages. It doesn't come with shouting or physical force. It works in silence, in suggestion, in the way words are carefully chosen to plant doubt and twist reality. This kind of control is the most dangerous because it makes you question yourself. It makes you second guess your own thoughts, your own emotions, your own experiences. It turns you into a puppet without you even realizing that the strings are there. At first, everything seems normal. The person in question, whether it's a parent, a sibling, a spouse, or even a child, doesn't appear threatening. They may even be charming. They speak in ways that make you believe they care, that they are looking out for your best interests. But pay attention, look closer. There is something in their words, something that lingers in the way they communicate. Every conversation with them leaves you feeling smaller, more uncertain, more dependent on their approval. They never tell you outright that you are wrong, but they make you feel as if you are. They don't say that your feelings are invalid, but somehow, after speaking to them, you feel guilty for having them. They don't tell you what to do directly, but they lead you to choices that serve their interests while making you believe it was your decision all along. This is not just manipulation, this is possession of the mind. Watch how they rewrite reality. A situation that was once clear in your memory becomes distorted after they explain it. What you thought was an insult is suddenly just a joke. What you know was unfair treatment is suddenly something you misunderstood. They take control of the narrative in a way that leaves you feeling lost in your own life. And the worst part? They convince you that they are the only ones who truly understand you. They isolate you not by force, but by planting the idea that others cannot be trusted. They don't really care about you. They're just using you. I'm the only one who has your best interests at heart. Slowly, your world becomes smaller. Your trust in others weakens. You start to rely on them more and more, even when deep inside you feel uneasy. But that unease never turns into action, because they have conditioned you to believe that you are the problem, that your emotions are too much, that your reactions are overblown, that your doubts are misplaced. If you try to call them out, the response is never direct. They do not argue in the way normal people argue. Instead, they twist your own words against you. They bring up things you did in the past, things that aren't even relevant, just to make you feel guilty, just to shift the blame. They cry, they play the victim, they make you feel like you are hurting them just by standing up for yourself. And suddenly, instead of confronting them, you find yourself apologizing for even daring to feel the way you do. This is how demons operate. Not through fire and destruction, but through control of perception. They do not need to take your body if they can take your mind. If they can make you doubt yourself, if they can make you see the world through their lens, they have already won. Look at how they treat others. Do they have a pattern of making people feel obligated to them? Do they demand loyalty but never give it in return? Do they use kindness as a weapon, offering help or support only to bring it up later as something you owe them? They do not love. They possess. And the scariest part, once you are under their influence, you will find yourself defending them. You will justify their behavior. You will make excuses for their actions. You will convince yourself that they mean well, that they are just misunderstood, that it's not as bad as it seems. But deep down, you know the truth. Because every time you are around them, something in you feels off. Your body knows before your mind does. The tension in your shoulders, the knot in your stomach, the exhaustion after every interaction, these are signs. Your spirit is trying to tell you what your mind refuses to accept. Because once you accept it, you have to make a choice. And that choice is never easy. When you start to recognize these patterns in your family, you begin to understand that not all battles are visible. Some forces work in the shadows, influencing emotions, relationships, and even the very energy of a home. The people you love, the ones you grew up with, the ones you trusted, some of them may no longer be who they once were. Some may have willingly or unknowingly opened doors to something that thrives on chaos, pain, and destruction. But recognition is the first step to breaking free. Once you see the truth, you are no longer blind to it. You can no longer be manipulated, no longer be drained, no longer be controlled. The hardest part is deciding what to do next, whether to confront it, to distance yourself, or to fight back in your own way. The choice will not be easy, and it may come with painful sacrifices. Some ties may need to be severed, some relationships may need to be left behind, and some battles may need to be walked away from entirely. But one thing is certain, you are not powerless. Darkness can only consume what allows itself to be consumed. The moment you refuse to be a part of its cycle, the moment you stand firm in your own light, you weaken its grip. Some people may never change. Some forces may never release those they have taken hold of. But you can choose a different path. You can break the cycle. You can reclaim your energy, your peace, and your future. And that is where your true power lies. Good luck on your journey. May you find the strength to see clearly, the courage to walk away when necessary, and the wisdom to protect your own spirit. Thank you.